This is the Beer League Society podcast. It's sports talk, not from the press box, but from the sidelines, from the bar stool. We are locked in and ready to go live. Now, here are your hosts, Cody.
Random question. Does anyone know how to ship a toe?
Andy.
Hey gang, let's go out for ice cream.
And Jason.
You guys saw that?
I wanna rock and roll all night and something all day. Yeah. What's up, dude?
How's it going, Andy?
It's going good, man. Going good. Just singing us into the episode 17 here, like I have been lately, picking some bangers, I guess, right?
Final episode without official football.
Are we?
And
we're gonna say that now.
We're gonna say that now. It didn't go well the last time. So.
I don't think it didn't.
It didn't go wrong. It just didn't land like first game of the regular season lands. Right. You know.
Yeah. Needed some interpretation of the rules.
Yeah. That's all. SO already in the chat. What's happening, fellas?
Oh yeah. All right. You guys made it. Thank you. We're not obviously being as though it's Wednesday. We're not in our normal time slot, but that had to be shifted around because my little baby bro's getting married this upcoming weekend. So festivities for all that start tomorrow. So I won't be able to make it as a groomsman. I'll be kind of doing rehearsal related stuff with him. But shout out to my brother for taking the plunge. I mean, he's a young buck, like a lot of
congratulations.
Yeah, like a lot of the listeners here. He's younger than I am, obviously, but yeah. But it's kind of cool.
We're also a man down this week because Jason had an unfortunate battle with a post hole digger, and I think the post hole digger won. So I think he's gonna take this week off and recover. Yeah. So we wish him well and hope to have him next week for the opening week of the football season.
Yeah, that was. Hope you're feeling better, bud. That's all. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. That's for Jason, not for my brother. Yeah. I'm sure he's doing fine.
That comes later. Yeah, he's doing just fine right now. But what are you sipping on?
Oh, what do we got today? We've got somewhat cracked. Second drink off of it. This is the
Bib Tucker.
Bib Tucker. It is
double char bourbon.
Double char.
Yeah. That sounds smoky and oaky.
It's fantastic.
Is it? I'm not a big smoky guy, or I like a nice mellow, soft, caramel texture to my bourbon.
It's got some body to it for sure. Like it's not fully like smoked. I think the double char kind of it gives it a little bit more body as well as kind of a smokiness to it. So
sure,
I get some caramel, a little bit of caramel in there.
Okay, you get the notes a little bit. I feel
yeah.
All right, well, I'm cracking the seal on one here, which I've had for years, but I've never actually opened it. But we've got the Clyde May 6-year single barrel straight bourbon whiskey. 102 proof. So I just got done talking about how I like a smooth bourbon. Oh yeah,
and you're gonna have a Honda 102.
And then we have a 102 proof.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice.
She's pretty though.
She is pretty.
She shines in the lights. Yeah. But so excited. I've never had this one. It's literally been sitting on my shelf, I think, for 3-4 years now. I've never opened it. I would say
John chimes in, drink something manly like Miller Lite. John, I'll have you know that I was born with a Miller Lite beer belly, thanks to my pops, and I had to work mine off and start from scratch. So Miller Lite runs through these veins quite deep in my DNA for sure. I'm no stranger to Miller Lite, but
well, she was flowing this weekend because we had our softball fantasy football draft, and it was by far the most fun I've ever had at a fantasy football draft. Because we started with, things got serious very quickly.
From the jump, right?
From the jump. Like as soon as I got there, they had it set up, well-oiled machine, had had the table set up, had all the, so we did a combine to establish draft order. So the events were throughout the event, you had to chug a full beer. And the events that you had to do is you had to do a flip cup, you had to make a beer pong shot, and then, get one in the hole on cornhole. And sometime between the start of one and the finish of the other, you had to chug a beer. And the best time got to pick at which position they drafted in. And it was a 12-team league. And it was a good time. I'll say this, a lot of young bucks in the squad. Two of the oldest guys were the ones that finished 1 and 2. So I don't know if that looks worse on us or worse on them, but
no, dude, I'm representing for us old guys out there. There's video floating around. Why it's not already up on our page, I don't know yet, but it should be.
We'll make it happen. Yeah. Shout out to Matt. Matt Martin, I think, took a video of it. So
yeah, it was good video.
Capturing the absolute specimen of an athlete that my wife married. So.
Hey man, I gotta say, even though you are significantly younger than me, though, you're still representing for us old guys. So I'll take it. We still count you amongst our members,
right? Right. I may be a new member, but I'm still a member. But it was awesome though, man, and it was perfect because it was actually hosted at one of the guys' dad's house. Super nice house, super nice, like beautiful pool, huge spread of food. Once we established the draft order, we
whole spread.
Pulled out ChatGPT and wrote out a contract. As so it's legit. We got 12 signatures. There were 3 people that were notarized that could notarize it at the party. Nice. Which is crazy. I mean, there's a few of them have a lot of family in that own.
What did you notarize? Like the draft order?
No. So the punishment: whoever finishes in last place has to go to Old Town, like basically like a little downtown area where we live, with a bucket and drumsticks, and they cannot stop until they collect $50 in donations. So nice. We've got all 12 signatures on there, and you damn sure we're going to be recording that. When the check is due.
If anybody loses and they want to get lessons, we live in probably the mecca for plastic drum, or whatever it is, plastic bucket drum battles, like in Chicago here.
In Chicago,
I could drop you off somewhere close to the United Center, and by the time you're done, you'll have more rhythm than you'd ever imagine possible.
Then you could shake a drumstick at, right?
Yeah, you might get shot too, but
right. Well, at the United Center, if you go to a Bears game or something like that, they're out there too. They're under that little walkover. But
it's the one where everybody shouts "fuck the Packers." That's where all the best drummers are.
Familiar.
Nothing fires up Green Bay fans more than when we shout "fuck the Packers" for no reason. It's what Chicago loves to do. We just, doesn't matter where we are, just a random, like, I've gone to concerts. I went to Metallica concert at Soldier Field, and going through that tunnel, everybody shouting "fuck the Packers, fuck the Packers."
It's a tradition at that point.
It is, right? You have to do it, right? It's like, you go to Paris, you put a lock on that bridge or whatever, you go over the tunnel, you got to say FTP.
Yeah. Hey, Jason in the chat, we're thinking of you, buddy. Thankfully, his fingers aren't as messed up as his lip is. So good to see you, man.
I was saying I was gonna try to do like a text to speech thing for him so he could go like all Stephen Hawking with us today. Just
go Pack, go!
Couldn't pull that together.
No, for sure. We got John in the chat. What's up? We got Matt Martin studying film for next year already.
Jason, Jason's crying about the fact that he's the elder statesman on there, but I think we're all probably pretty evenly spaced. Yes, he's the oldest, but I'm kind of in the middle, and Cody's the young buck. So, but yeah, dude, we're all old, Jason.
Yeah,
I watched that video, and the first thought that ran through my head is how would I bust a hammy trying to go through the stupidest little combine drinking game gauntlet thing. Somehow there would be insurance claim involved if I were to try to go through that at this age. But
yeah, that video evidence would be awfully damning if you if insurance gets a hold of that.
That's true. Yeah,
Oh,
we got
so you were drinking,
disavow.
playing games by a pool as an adult.
It's AI. It was all AI generated.
Yeah,
False.
right. Exactly. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming up. Obviously, like I said, football season officially starts next week. With that being said, teams went into full on panic mode, and everyone quit the old dicking around with signing contracts, and it was back to back.
Yeah.
So
we got some done deals, huh?
Starting with my boy, it's a bittersweet moment because we finally signed Trey Hendrickson. Really excited as a Bengals fan. Side note, we did not extend him. So not only are we paying him more for this year, which he deserves, he's a unrestricted free agent after this. Yeah. So, which feels like the end of an era.
We did talk about that a little bit, but I think that was a good swing. If they weren't going to be able to figure out a way to extend him, that was a good swing at trying to give him enough of a reason to stick around. If there was just no way of them being able to figure it out from a dollars and cents perspective, but you have some money you can give him this year. That was such an awesome swing, I think, in my like a Hail Mary at trying to keep him around. He seems legitimately happy. I was listening to some of his locker room talking. First of all, he said they were they asked him about it. He's like, well, this option was never on the table.
This option was not always on the table, right?
Right. Yeah. And then my wife and I, we prayed on it, and then it showed up on our doorstep. Like, awesome, man. That's great. But yeah, to your point, this is, we'll be here on this couch again next year talking about whether or not he finds a way to stick around with the Bengals or if somebody else is going to scoop him. But
yeah,
good on him for at least making right this year. So
it's a tradition at this point where we just piss somebody off in negotiations in the off season and just deal with it. Yeah. So again, excited to get that signed.
Yeah, that was great. And again, I do think it shows a hell of a lot of good faith because they didn't, technically they didn't have to do that. And then, technically, not technically, everybody knows he's still going to be right back where he was at the end of next year. Yeah. So with very little leverage, or very little loss in leverage than he had this year, other than whatever may happen through the course of this year, know, so for the Bengals and for the team and for him. But, I have to think that's like, here's all we got, man. We love you. Take the money and please consider us become free agency next year.
Right. Well, and also let this be a lesson to the Bengals. Don't, they had an opportunity to sign T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson prior to this year. And they kept pushing it down the line. And then they popped the hell off. Same with, so then they had to sign Trey Hendrickson at top value, peak value. Yep. You can't get better than sack leader, They had to sign Jamar Chase after a triple crown season. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just saying, quit. Well,
that's what we've talked about it before. I was like, give some team T. Higgins because there's no way you're gonna. Oh my God, they figured out a way to keep all three of those, and now,
that's crazy.
And like the fact that they're even in conversation right now, being able to keep Hendrickson and possibly, I'm not going to close the door on extending him next year, but it's pretty, or signing him, I'll say next year because he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah,
it's looking things, unless some good things happen for the Bengals this year, some Super Bowl money,
at this point, since they only signed him to a 1-year deal, you have to think they're going all in. They signed an offensive lineman today, which is exciting, especially if you got a chance to see even a short of the Bengals defense against the backup Colts offense. So I'm shocked they didn't re-sign him at halftime of that game because it got ugly real fast,
real quick. Yeah.
So at least he wasn't Micah on the sidelines taking a nap on
Taking a nap.
on the training table.
Dude, I love that. And I think one of my favorite arcs right now is the arc that's floating through Green Bay, where they think that they had a chance at signing him, and like, I mean, it's full on like flight tracking mode right now. I think somebody snapped a picture where they thought that first of all, they snapped some random picture of a black dude with dreadlocks, not even at a Wisconsin airport. It's like a Boston. Because I don't think Micah Parsons has dreadlocks. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
I know
he does not.
Right. So there's just some random black dude with dreadlocks standing at a Hertz counter. I think it's in Boston, and
Right.
I want to hope that this is a joke, but I feel like there was a measurable amount of Packers fans that read that and thought it was legit.
I thought it was legit.
The post was like, "Oh, Parsons at a rental car and just landed in Wisconsin," and people ran with that. I'm like, first of all, this dude looks nothing like Micah Parsons. He looks 100 pounds soaking wet with dreadlocks.
Right.
And they're at a Hertz rental car in Boston. It even, like, if you zoom in the back, it says
You can
Hertz
see, like,
Boston.
in the background. Yikes.
But whoever posted it just went, "Oh yeah, this is in Parsons Landing in Wisconsin." I died laughing.
Yeah. Speaking of Hertz and driving, Jay Cutler.
I know. Yeah, I was about to say, Jeff
smoking Jay back in the news.
we got Jeff coming in trying to talk about smoking Jay over here. Look, that we all, when you get to be at Jay Cutler's stature, like a DUI is kind of like a wristband.
Par for the course. It's par for the course.
Right. Yeah. Wristband at the life's party, like you were there, you partied.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, have the mugshot to prove it.
4 days, 4 days in jail or something. I think he gets
lost his license. Yeah.
He's going to be
Craziness.
just fine. Just fine.
Yeah. Jason asked,
that was funny.
If Trey gets 10 sacks this season, do you think his age catches up with him on the market? Well, here's the thing. Unless he repeats exactly what he did last year, his value is going to drop. Even if he performed identical to what he did last year, he's still a year older, right? Mm-hmm. So, and it's not like he's 26 going in his 27-year-old season, like he's in his 30s. So,
right.
Yeah, the measurable drop off once you hit that threshold,
that 30
is noticeable, right? The dirty 30, it does.
It's not quite as bad for as a receivers, like as a litmus test, but
receivers tend to have a longer shelf life. Same thing with obviously quarterbacks, tight ends.
Yeah.
I think you're not typically at full form in tight end until your like third season or something like that. So that obviously Travis Kelce is an outlier, but it's not out of the question for them to perform well into their 30s. Now running back, obviously, the average. Like the peak age, I think, for a running back is like 25, and then their perceived value and performance starts going down.
Yeah, after 25.
Yeah. If your name is not Derrick Henry, or Saquon Barkley, who goes behind an incredible offensive line, but those guys are outliers more than anything. But running backs. I mean, once they start hitting like 26. Especially if you're in like dynasty football, they just look different. It's like they're perceived different. Their value is different. So and it all translates to how the NFL treats them. Right. So if you struggle to get that second contract, I mean, the ones that perform get it. The ones that are good enough don't. So
yeah, right. Here, I got to pull this up. So I'm gonna pull up I feel like people were asking for this. If they weren't, they're gonna be. Here's the shot that I'm talking about.
Oh, what?
Micah Parsons spotted at the Milwaukee airport. This is a done deal.
Done deal.
Hurts Boston.
Meme war. That's hilarious.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the thing is like I don't like I cannot conclude with definitively that there weren't any actual Packers fans that thought this was like legit. Like,
you'd like to think though.
You'd like to think that
You'd like to think though.
Well, I mean, Boston.
It literally says Hurts Boston in the background. That's
random dude, dreadlocks, got some Nikes on. Why would he be?
Watch out, John. He may be coming to New England.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know who that dude is, but he's going to New England.
Yeah, he's in New England already. So
Yeah.
I don't think unless that's one of those like goofy, they used to have like the old like dreadlock hats, like a visor with the hair built
Yeah.
into it. That's not
Right.
that's not Micah.
Mm-mm.
It's
Yeah, man. I'm
Yeah.
from Jamaica. What part? Right near the beach.
right
boy.
near the beach, boy. Oh god, I gotta look that one up too. I haven't what so, this show is always good for at least one or two like 90s movie reference.
Yeah, that's definitely a 90s movie reference.
Yeah,
half baked right there for the win.
such a good one. Speaking of half baked and old guys, we got some flash from the past. What year is it? Trades that happened this week, this weekend and last week. So we officially have Adam Thielen back home in the Vikings,
home in the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Like I think it was like a nominal trade, and like swap some
it's like
late rounders,
some 5th, 6th, and 7th swaps and stuff like that, but nothing crazy. I mean, with the with the Addison suspension for the first 3 weeks, I'm sure they're looking for some bodies that
Absolutely.
don't let the record get too far behind before he gets back. Obviously, come week 4, but
they got Bears week 1, so we're hoping they're still trying to piece that room together before before the game. But yeah.
But it does. What that trade does, I think they said that trade dropped the average age of the Panthers wide receiver room by like 7 years or something like that. Because I think all the Panthers wide receivers are like 21, 21, 22, 23, 22. Like they're a bunch of babies, but they got something cooking if they can string it together. They got some projects, but they got the youth. They got the time to figure it out.
That reminds me of the time that Muhsin Muhammad, who used to be, Mohamed him, right? I think he was on the Bengals, right? Wasn't
Sanu? Yeah, Mohamed Sanu.
No. Muhsin Muhammad. No, maybe he wasn't.
Oh,
maybe he wasn't.
Okay.
But he played like years back. He played with the Bears, and like his like soundbite quote was that after he left, he went to the Panthers, and he said, "Chicago's where receivers go to die." Because he had like. He was, he had a great wherever he was beforehand. I can't think of it. He had, he was a very good, like top
serviceable
50, top 50% wide receiver. We were happy to get him because we didn't have a quarterback really much to throw to him. He didn't pan out to be very good in Chicago, but then like he just blasted us as soon as he got, left and went to the Panthers. Chicago's where receivers go to die, and now it's like the exact opposite. He's like, the Panthers are like where young receivers go that don't know what to do yet.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because DJ Moore fled the Panthers to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. He should.
I think between the two, you got the better of that deal. So I wouldn't be too upset.
Yeah, running back, DJ Moore. That's kind of the newest development.
Oh yeah. How much do you think is behind that? Is that?
Oh, I think it's more than just a little smoke. I think it's a little bit. I do think so, and whether or not, like, if nothing else, it's for the fact that we have literally one healthy running back on our roster right now. We have Swift is the only healthy back without a designation right now.
Really?
And yeah. And we cut Wheeler. We cut like all the invitees and the healthy backs that we have. And kind of like the question coming out of the 53 man is like, how confident are we in Rojo, Rashawn Johnson, Kyle Monangai, and Travis Homer, all three of which are second, third, and fourth string running backs, all have an injury designation. Like
what's
the practice
injury?
It's like soft tissue. They're all pretty safe.
They're all
to
like
say
questionable kind of thing.
Yeah, they're all exactly. They're all pretty safe to say that they're going to be back likely for week 1. But it's just funny because like they cut all these dudes, and then Monday's practice was literally just the only true running back without a designation was Swift.
And he was getting all the reps.
Getting all the reps, exactly. And then they would throw DJ in there, which they've been doing. They've been throwing DJ in there from time to time. I think it's a little bit more than just smoke, but I do think that a lot of a lot of it, at least recently, is just dealt by the fact that we need to bridge some time before the rest of the running backs get healthy.
You need bodies back there, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it would be really interesting, especially as I'm sure as he feels Odunze breathing down his neck for that number one wide receiver spot. It would be really cool to see him utilized in a Deebo kind of way, and just see if that just unlocks a different level of production that he can get.
I'm okay with it as long as they like lean into it heavily and don't just kind of go out there and like they've got to have
gimmicky
some
plays kind of thing.
Yeah, gimmicky plays. Like, yeah, they can't be just doing like, like pseudo end arounds or like whatever, just like flea flickers or like screens.
If they see him back here,
screens.
like, okay, well, it's obviously something good. Yeah,
obvious. They've got to have him be back there, run some off tackle ISOs with them. Just let him actually legit be a running back for a play or two, just so they have to respect it. And then you can kind of play off of that a little bit. So I'm okay with that as long as it's not like super obvious, like the Nagy era where we would bring in packages and it was just kind of, like we surprised them once, but like after the fact, it's like you see this package in there, it's
you immediately know
5 plays. Like it narrows the scope of what you can expect so much, and I don't think that that's as much of a strategic advantage, especially with a guy like DJ who, he's a yak guy for sure. So it really feeds into that style. But like, if you know it's coming, like you could just kind of put at least a spy on him. If not like, like kind of just 2 almost at that point, he's going to get the ball in some way. So.
Right. Yeah. I'm curious, I know I know DJ is not a, Devonta Smith, small frame, small figure, fragile body kind of, composition, but he's not like a Deebo. Like Deebo's kind of like, he's got some, it's a thick guy for a wide receiver running back. So like, I feel like he's built for a little bit of, ground and pound when he does come in, so it's not like they're risking everything if he does go north and south, between the tackles or something like that,
Let him do it for sure. I'm down.
But I mean, it'd be interesting to see how that shakes out, especially if you guys end up needing him there,
Right? Yeah.
Because Swift has throughout his career had streaks of of injury designations himself. Mm-hmm. He's had some bigger ones that have set him back.
And to be fair, I think a lot of the like invitees and the feel good Ian Wheeler story, I think we'll sign a decent bit of them to the practice squad. It hasn't happened yet, which is a little interesting, specifically on Ian Wheeler, who like he's like in Chicago, he's kind of vaulted to like into everybody's like conscious
into
brain
their hearts.
because of the whole Hard Knocks scenario, which me too, like as formulaic as it is for Hard Knocks to do human interest pieces and like on specific people. And by the way, this guy just so happens to be going to go into pre-med, put that on hold. And then, by the way, he got, tore his ACL.
Horrible leg injury. Right.
Yeah. Right. Like I'm sure that everybody that was producing that show is just like seeing like cartoon style money signs, like, I can guarantee you they were following a half dozen other people, but as soon as that guy had that story come up where he got his injury, they just cut that thing up and stuck it in as the major human interest piece in there. That, which is not to say that the guy's not awesome. He is an awesome dude. There's some people that were like that are rightfully analyzing his style of play in preseason and questioning his ability, like he's a very good back against second string dudes, but I don't think he has what it takes to be a starting back in the NFL. And so I'm interested to see all that long-winded way of saying, I'm interested to see if he's not on the practice squad yet because he's shopping himself around, or if maybe he's contemplating going back to med school or what. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see where he lands just from a purely like,
how does his story shape out kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get some closure on the Ian Wheeler thing since he was on TV for a while, I guess is kind of what I'm curious to see. But
Sean says, "Sorry, fellas, I'm running late. Can you start from the beginning?"
All right, back it up.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
It's Wednesday. It's not Thursday. Where my brother's getting married. We're talking some NFL stuff. Yeah, like you're pretty well caught up. You didn't miss much.
Yeah, but
NFC North though, man, is like, Homer. Obviously, I follow a lot of the NFC North stuff. They're like, I'm just scrolling through this list of cuts. I think the thing that probably I found the most hilarious is that Detroit decided that they wanted to cut more than just the minimum amount, and they've trimmed their roster down to 50.
Oh, okay. I guess they're making room for some waiver wire ads where they don't have to drop anybody. They can just get
maybe
add a bunch of people and see what bites. That's crazy.
Yeah, nothing says that I am confident in my roster than cutting your roster down 3 extra guys.
Well, I guess if you see some guys that aren't Detroit quality, I mean, why keep them around?
What even is Detroit quality?
Not buying into the vision, I guess. I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, but tell me that guy. I feel like I'm a therapist.
Say what? Sorry.
I said that coach does not do anything less than 110%. So I'm not sure. Like, you got to cut people. You got to cut down. It's like, oh, I'll cut down.
I will cut.
No, that was too
my
much.
Roster 50, 53. No.
Pull back.
I'll cut it down to 50. We'll put 10 guys out there every snap. We'll still beat you.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. You're starting to sound like friggin' what's his name from Seattle now. Now I'm starting to sound like the old man. God damn it.
Oh yeah, now you're starting to sound like Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, yes, thank you. Came to me right as I was about to say it.
Like
I can't make.
We've already covered the age thing, so I don't need to hound you more about it.
I was about to say I can't make a Pete Carroll a senile joke and then forget his fucking name. Like,
right? It loses its impact a little bit.
Yeah.
That damn guy's so old. What's his name again?
What's his name? What that guy? He's always out there with
the thing.
The thing. What else do we got? Who else got cut?
I don't know. I mean, the Bengals cut
Desmond.
Ritter. Yeah, which is kind of shocked. Not shocking, but I thought he was at least, I don't know, QB3 quality. Like I thought he'd get at least backup Browning, but he did not look good. So
yeah, no, you're right. He didn't, but it always kind of hurts to cut draft picks. I feel like you didn't.
No, the Atlanta Falcons drafted him.
You're
Desmond
right.
Ritter
You're right.
No, he was a starter for the Falcons.
You're right. Shit. Yeah.
Prior to Kirk, and then they signed Kirk, and then immediately draft Penix with the 8th overall pick. So that's what spurred that. They let that go, and they're like, yeah, that sucks. Let's not do that again. Let's get a veteran and then get a rookie to go under the veteran instead of just throwing the rookie right in.
God, yeah, it's funny that I confuse you guys with the fucking Falcons sometimes.
Yeah, it's all right.
Is it though? It's not really that.
Yeah.
What do we got? There was a couple other ones that I thought were kind of interesting.
Surprising cuts.
Yeah, where was?
I don't know if anyone's following the Hard Knocks or not, but on the last episode, they had you kind of falling in love with a few of the guys, like their stories, their backgrounds, all that stuff. And then I checked immediately, checked. All of them cut. They typically cut 1 or 2 of them, but they cut all of them.
Again, Hard Knocks, I've come to learn they just, they probably get 7 Tiger teams out there and say, follow these guys. If some kind of a story bubbles up, that's what becomes the focus.
Just like some fringe guys, right?
Exactly. So they just go out there, set a bunch of guys to go film specific pieces, and then they kind of figure out what's the best story to kind of piece together in the end.
They figured out their formula. They stick to it.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Edwards, safety from KC, 2-time Super Bowl champion, cut.
Dang, that's crazy.
Marquez Valdez Scanling.
He went to San Francisco, didn't he? Am I wrong?
Didn't make.
Yeah, 49ers signed Marquez Valdez Scantling.
Oh, and they signed him?
Yeah. So,
nice.
Which again, based on our conversation last week, they've been bit by the injury bug, something fierce. So
Mhm.
I mean, they're
Well,
similar to DJ
makes
Moore
sense
at
for the
running back.
Niners,
They got to
yeah.
start putting bodies back there.
Back there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's just Kittle and Pearsall, and now, MVS over there.
Mhm.
Last I knew that he was with the Chiefs, right?
Yep, he was with the Chiefs.
Yeah. But it's interesting. Speaking of you talked about Edwards, obviously he was a big. I'm shocked that the Giants cut Greg Dulcich.
DeVito?
Like he was.
Oh yeah,
Greg
Dulcich.
Dulcich. He was one of the ones that I like. Was when he was in Denver, right? He was like,
Mhm.
this could be the next big guy, like the next big what tight end. And then they didn't really have good quarterback
Led
play,
the preseason
and
touchdown catches.
Right.
I mean,
and
it's
then
preseason, but he
cut
let him for all
Yeah.
tight ends.
To be fair, I think they have multiple decent tight ends.
Yeah.
Theo and what's the other guy's name starts with a B. Anyways, they've got no shortage of solid tight ends, but I was surprised to see him cut for sure.
Beanie Bishop, cornerback from Pittsburgh, got cut.
Oh, Jeff said Clyde Edwards. The Saints cut Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Cam Akers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, which is crazy because they were both, again, absolutely phenomenal running backs coming into the NFL, destroyed by a leg injury and then just never recovered.
Yeah,
never recovered.
Tommy DeVito from Giants was the other one I was saying too.
I saw like an hour before I came up here for the podcast, I saw someone post an RIP DeVito, and I'm like, surely he didn't die. Like, but he was like a
figuratively speaking, he died.
He was like a cultural thing last year. Like he
really was. Yeah.
He had his own. Side,
right. I mean, he's probably second only to Kelsey Swift romance. I mean, in terms of like pop culture references, I feel like with the yeah.
I think the most impressive thing about last season is that Neighbors was able to perform with the most ragtag team of nobody quarterbacks, and he still had a phenomenal rookie season. That dude's going to be built different. You get a decent quarterback in there, he's going to set the league on fire.
Yeah, for sure. Hunter Renfrow
getting cut. That's a guy you like to root for. That is the most unassuming. I don't know if you saw his like draft day picture of him without a shirt on. As a like 21-year-old guy in the draft room, like in the draft process, that looks like a 35-year-old accountant with 2 kids, and like that dude was 35 years old. His rookie, he looked it, but dude, then he balled the hell out.
That hairline of his right now too is like dropping back into pass coverage.
Oh yes, seriously.
Holy hell.
Yeah, that hairline's that hairline's playing prevent defense right now. It's way back there.
It's like old school kickoff return, but pre new rules kickoff return. They're backpedaling.
Yeah,
setting up a wall deep in the end zone.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff brings up another good Hard Knocks story. It's like back in the day when Giovanni Bernard was with the Bengals, he was always driving his mom's minivan. Even after he got paid, like that's what he drove. He drove his mom's minivan even after he got the contract. He got paid. He drove that minivan everywhere, which is awesome.
You see, the way my bank account works is I got checkings.
I got to move things around.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Trust me, I am no stranger to like post college having to dig myself out of financial holes. Yeah. Depending on how deep they are, you might be having to drive around the minivan for a couple of years, months at least, even if you're making league minimum.
Yeah, I think he's
credit.
Frugal,
what's credit? Oh, what? My credit score? What does that mean? Oh,
credit. Never heard her. Never heard of her. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? Oh, that bill that I didn't pay in college for the utilities because we left and felt like if we didn't pay it, nobody would come after us. Oh, they went on my credit score? Oh.
Yep. Some lessons are best learned the hard way. I bet you didn't make that mistake again. Oh, okay. So this will be interesting. John asked, all right, I'm going to assume he's talking about this year. We'll say this year because I think they're both going to be decent. You got Tyler Warren or Loveland. This is a real homer test right here.
Well, I mean, like, that's why I said I got to bow out on this one. I can't.
Oh,
okay. I'm not gonna talk trash about like I've come full circle on Colston Loveland for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, again, as somebody who, especially last year, did not watch enough college football to know, like, Warren was the name everybody was throwing out there, and when we had him in our sights, and then he came out they came up and announced it was Colston Loveland. My knee jerk reaction. We were live on a pod too. Jason and I were live on a pod talking about this. My knee jerk reaction was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why would we do like Warren was the obvious tight end pick. Everything that we needed fell off the board right in front of us, and Warren was right there, and we went with like this. It kind of felt very Mitch Trubisky on the surface, like. But then, as I dug into it and got the backstory, it was like, oh, this was a very shrewd move. In fact, there was a lot of teams that were higher on Colston trying to downplay, like slow play him, like thinking like, oh, we can't let this get out because somebody's going to take Warren and Colston's going to fall to us. And like the Bears sniffed that out and took Colston. That like, I've come full circle on him. Like, I'm a big Kmet guy too. I like Cole Kmet. I think he had an off year last year, but like, I wasn't ready to just write him off. I think everybody gets a free pass.
I don't even think he had that bad of a year though. I mean, he was still like
down
from
mid range,
down from the year before, but still like he had a great year the year before.
Exactly.
He kind of fell to the average last year, but it wasn't a bottom 10 or anything like that.
Sure, but like based on my own admission. Yeah, like you have to string together 2 years in order for me to consider you, like worthy of. Everybody can have a good year. Yeah, everybody, like if you string back-to-back years together, and he hadn't done that yet. But given that, by my own criteria, I was still bucking that trend and saying I'm still big on Cole, and like I didn't see the need, and 12-man's 12-man.
It just felt like you had bigger needs elsewhere that you could have used.
Exactly.
That for. Yeah.
Exactly. But legitimately, everybody kind of fell off as they should have in front of us. Like there was Gene T was gone, which was the big one for the Bears that they were thinking about. Like pretty much everybody kind of fell off. So, tight end wouldn't have been where I was going to. Point. Where it wasn't where I was going to want to go, but it was best available at that point. But Warren was the big tight end at that point.
Right.
And so I was shocked, but yeah, like now I see it. I definitely see it. I think if nothing else, I think the kid's going to complement Cole very well. And when they do run 12-man, I think it's going to be a pretty scary combination.
Yeah.
Well, do I think so? Now you're pulling me in, and so here I am now.
Well, I think you've already gave your. Was that not your take? what was that? The preamble.
It is my take, but I'm. But like I'm trying, like the thing that I'm caveating it with is the fact that I'm so high on Kmet that whatever he does cannibalizes Colston, by extension. So
yeah,
do I think pure numbers wise that Colston's going to beat out Warren?
All right, fantasy football. Which one are you plugging into your lineup this year?
To me that's a flip of the coin. I think I'd maybe give the shade to Colston only because of how openly 12-man Ben Johnson is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those two. It's going to be one of those two. I think if
the roles were reversed, it would be more clear Warren. Because if you think of it, I mean, Loveland's, like you said, he's got Ben Johnson. Tight end.
He's going to use him.
Loves him. Going to use him. Better quarterback. Warren has terrible quarterback. Danny Dimes. I mean, we haven't seen him as Indiana Jones. We'll see. He may resurge as his career like like Sam Darnold did. But I think Warren is the better pass catching tight end. I think Loveland is the more physically well-rounded, probably going to hold up a little more to the wear and tear.
More reps for sure.
Yeah.
I think
so.
like Colston or Warren was like the go-to guy. Like versus.
Well, right. I mean, Warren's getting comps to, some of the best pass catching tight ends and his. I mean, he's getting Brock Bowers type comps.
Right.
So I think Warren is the better offensive weapon, and I think his career will prove that out. I wouldn't be shocked if Loveland has the longer career just because he's built a little heavier. He's going to have less, I think, like I said, especially if you have Cole Kmet there on the other side. It's going to have a little less wear and tear. I think they're both going to be fine. I think they're both going to be decent, top 10 in a year or two. Obviously, like I said, the tight end position takes a little bit longer to a little longer to develop into, because you really are you're learning how to be an offensive lineman and blocking. Mm-hmm. You're learning how to be a pass catcher. It's like so many positions in one. There's a lot to take in. It's a difficult position to master at the highest level. So it's the people who flash year one are an exception to the rule. And look at Kyle Pitts, great rookie year, franchise record for rookies, all that stuff, and then has since had a regression. I'm curious. Brock Bowers, I think, is. I mean, he's absolutely a monster. So I think he's going to be just fine. He's going to be top 3 to 5 tight end for a long time, I think. But I think Warren has top 5 upside. I think they're both going to be pretty consistent. That if not top 10, fringe top 10 for a while, given they get the opportunity to do so.
Drew. Warren should have a solid season because check down tight end is the favorite player for a shitty QB, and the Colts have 2 of them. Yeah,
they do have 2 of them. But when you're constantly going 3 and outs, you're not going to have nearly as many reps.
Exactly. And in PPR leagues, you might get some, but like if you're checking down to tight end, well, yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing that sucks. Anthony Richardson is not a check down quarterback. He should be.
Right.
He is a long ball or run it quarterback.
Yeah.
Which
he's
is
not
part
gonna,
of the
he's not
reason
gonna be throwing
it's an
check
issue.
downs.
Right.
And to be honest, I don't necessarily think tight ends are as check down as people think. If you got guys that you don't know if they're chipping and releasing or if they're just missing a block and they're coming out leaking around and they're sitting in between the first level with your linebackers and the whatever coverages you have in your secondary, that's such an asset to have that I feel like a lot of teams have a lot of plays specifically targeted for that in that soft spot in the zone, or like against a slower weak side linebacker or something like that. Those things are such an asset that I feel like, yes, it can be a check down kind of thing, but I like the Packers did that better, I feel like, than anybody. They just ran like these chip and sit kind of plays specifically. Like there was no check down about that. They knew what they were doing. They were running that
just like Kraft and Musgraves.
Exactly. Just just finding that seam in between the zones and just sitting there and letting people hit them all day long. So I mean
that's the Travis Kelce Gronkowski playbook. I don't need to know where the rest of the play is going. I'm just going to find the seam. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to catch the ball. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely an art to it for sure.
But to go back to your point, I do think, if Warren was in Ben's offense, I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I think Colston being an elite athlete in Ben's offense kind of gives him a little bit of an edge, in my opinion. Yeah. Like I'm trying not to be Homer here, but I do feel I do feel like I kind of give a little bit of an edge to Colston. I think he's
like I said, he's got more
really
going for him. Yeah, he's a big body athlete in a Ben Johnson offense with a better quarterback. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. Like if we're talking about just pure talent, Like I said, if the roles were reversed, it's Warren all day. But because of the situation, because that's the reality, you have to have those conversations, right?
Yep.
Let's see. John asks, who do you think the best rookie RB is this year?
I was high, like, I'm gonna forget their names. I was high on the 2 Ohio State guys.
Judkins and Henderson,
Yeah.
So
But
I think
Genty's kind of made a little bit of a believer out of me.
Ashton Genty's, I mean, he's the clear number one to me for sure. I think it starts, especially given what we've heard, and I know what John's looking for. So I know I'm going to dance around it for a minute. I'm going to put him on the hook for a second. But so I think Ashton Genty is as advertised in everything that I've seen. I think the number 2 is between Omari and Hampton, which is an incredibly appealing. I mean, just another one of those guys, incredible athlete in an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Sure. As far as a offense coordinator, coach, offense, like that whole scheme built for him. The emergence of Najee Harris coming back. Have you followed that situation at all with the eye injury?
I've seen grumblings, but I haven't really followed it.
Yeah. So a 4th of July.
What happened? Oh, he was firework dude. Yeah,
something happened to his eye. They've been very cagey about the entire thing. There's been like no pictures,
on IR, though, right?
No. So he's officially off of the PUP list, he's coming. So now, if we see him or not, I think, and again, Omari Hampton is by far and away a better running back than Najee Harris. Najee Harris was never that good in Pittsburgh. He just got 60 carries a game and just volume to death. Yeah. If anything, the most impressive thing he did was not fall apart at the seams because they ran him into the ground and he just kept going. So his yards per attempt was horrible, but he had, he got that workhorse role and made it work. Became fantasy relevant for it. I think it's between Omari and Hampton and Henderson. So, which is who John wants because he's a Patriots fan. But similar, I think it's a little less cut and dry with that. It's because they obviously have, Stevenson still there. They still have, what's his name? They have another one that was, I think it was an old Commanders, old Washington running back. But then, of course, after that first, that first game, where he first touch of his NFL career goes for a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And then the next practice, they're like, no, I think a split would be really healthy. Running back committee, that way we stay healthy. I'm like, I bet you would like a split because you just all your career just dashed into flames once you touched the ball for the first time. But
it goes Stevenson,
explosive.
It goes Stevenson, Trayvon, Antonio Gibson, and
Gibson. That's who I was thinking of. That's the old Commanders running back. Guy. But I think, again, 2 years from now, we're going to know because Stevenson will be gone, Gibbs will be gone, and then on the Omari and Hampton side, Najee Harris is, he's going to be gone. I think he signed like a 1-year deal. He has a short stint anyways. I don't know if it's a 1-year deal or if it's like one guaranteed and then they can get out pretty easily, but I know it's a very temporary hold us over kind of contract, but I think they're both going to be really good. My heart, obviously I'm an Ohio State fan. I've seen Henderson. I've seen the ups. I've seen the downs. He is explosive.
Yeah.
I think Omari and Hampton has a better opportunity as from a skill set position, like consistently, but man, I don't know. That's the thing. Henderson has the home run ability.
Where did Judkins go? Cleveland?
Judkins went to the Browns. So, and Judkins is an interesting situation too, because they still have Ford there, who did pretty well. He was pretty serviceable last year, while Chubb was out injured, and then cut him. And then they also, funny enough, drafted another running back later in the draft, who is
what's going on with them?
Is a pass catching specialist, which is not that Judkins has bad hands. He was just never used that way. But the fact that they're already kind of giving themselves a little bit of a third down option. Yeah, Samson is that receiving back. Yeah. That it at least from a fantasy perspective, it's going to be. I envision it being just annoying enough where it's going to take some of the third down the third and long, receiving type options where it could cannibalize. It could be just annoying enough to cannibalize his touches and his points. But Judkins is another one of those. I mean, he is an angry ass runner. He is a north and south. He's not putting a move on you. He's going to run it down your throat. He's going to hop up and he's going to do it again.
Yeah, I was
surprised with durability, but man, he's fun to watch.
Sure. He was the one I wanted the Bears to kind of get. Like, Loveland, I don't think what was his draft position? Yeah, round 2, 36. We were close enough. I felt like the Bears might have been on the clock to be able to draft him in the second round. Who do we? Mm-hmm. I got to look it up. Who was our?
He's going to have, I think, plenty of opportunities to show up on Good Morning Football with the angry runs segment because that dude just runs pissed off. Yeah. Judkins going to be a league leader in the prison yard. Yeah, I mean, it was looking that way until it wasn't. That was another one that was like, I mean, who knows when this guy? He still may face, repercussions or penalized from the league as far as legal action. I think that's that case was dropped, but it's I don't know, we'll see. Everyone's kind of holding their breath to see what the NFL does in that, but yeah Dylan Sampson, I think, like I said, he's not going to be a non-factor, but if any of them get the ball behind, Flacco, the ghost of Flacco, and however all 7 games that he plays this season before it's going to be, God knows. I mean, I know they announced Gabriel's the official QB2, which I'm assuming that makes Sanders QB3, but
QB3,
QB3, yeah.
QB3. But their draft process is like as if they were drafting like a team in and of itself. You already got 2 guys ahead of you on running back. You already got 2 guys ahead of you on quarterback, but you're drafting quarterbacks and running backs. They're clearly best available on their draft. But
got to throw a shout out Lyle in the chat. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Lyle.
Yeah. welcome. But no, it's it'll be interesting. Yeah. Well, it's obviously I think we officially have the number of the expected suspension for Rice is now 6 games.
Was it 6? Yeah.
So, and I think they're pushing for the beginning of the season, which is kind of crazy because that's pretty late notice. I think initially they were expecting it to be, I think his court date was scheduled for like September 30th or something like that. So they were going to get a good 4 weeks before they expected there to be any sort of suspension. But worthy season, I guess. Not a huge worthy believer as far as, I mean, he's definitely a strikes me as a home run boomer bust type player with that speed. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Rashee Rice is definitely the better wide receiver in that wide receiver room. But it'll be interesting to see how they react without him, especially if it's going to be 6 games and the newly engaged, aging Travis Kelce, who congratulations for his engagement. And as a Bengals fan, thrilled because that man just lost any motivation from a financial situation for financial incentives for his contract.
Who knows?
Money is no longer a problem.
You don't know that. I guarantee you that prenup is longer than Lord of the Rings. Whenever they finally get married. Sure. So,
here's the thing.
Not that he has to worry about it. Like it's 2 people with crap ton of money, just like
he's got 90 million on himself. Not that he's going to be going without money by any stretch, but she's a billionaire with a B. So little different league. And it was funny. I was talking to some buddies yesterday about it. I was like, this is really a win-win for Taylor Swift if you think about it. Because, on the positive note, she finds her Prince Charming. They live happy ever after. It's a great thing. If they break up, call off their engagement, or get a divorce, she's going to sell 1 trillion copies of her next breakup album. So,
you're not wrong about that.
She said either way.
I gotta find the tweet, but like somebody surfaced an old tweet from Travis Kelce where he was like, "I fed a squirrel a piece of bread the other day, and
it's her sourdough. It's the sourdough that she makes. She makes sourdough bread.
This was like decades ago.
Oh,
and it was just like total stoner tweet. Oh, I gave a squirrel. He spelled squirrel wrong. Oh, I gave a squirrel a piece of bread the other day, and he ate the whole thing. I had no idea how much bread squirrels eat.
Yeah, yeah. There's a great.
That's your gene pool right there, Taylor. That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, there's a great picture of Jason and Travis in their in their Cincinnati. They're like, one of these two idiots marries
Taylor
a billionaire Taylor Swift.
And the other one was a runner-up for sexiest man of the year.
Of the year, right.
We could do some memes. Now, I feel like that's a good transition.
Now we're in the meme food. Let's go
into the meme world. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw some up here. I'm not gonna. I'll preface this. I'm not gonna throw up the Kelce meme that's already making me vomit. Just how many times it's been done. Like their like proposal. Like, oh, call reverse. Travis did not get down on a knee.
Oh yeah. I will say this.
I'll start here because I have to cover it. So we have to cover it. So Travis Kelce's groomsmen and Taylor Swift's wedding. Yep. As a soon-to-be groomsman.
Love that one.
In a wedding, I can relate. And you know what? To be quite honest, I wouldn't mind throwing on a zebra outfit for a wedding.
I mean, it could be worse.
I like our suits. Our suits are bomb for sure. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, this is a good one. I'm gonna blow you guys up right now. This was the Joe Burrow play we were talking about last week, where it's like, just go down. Please go the hell down.
Watched it live.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Went hoarse from screaming at the top of my lungs.
Don't worry.
Hell down.
This is the only one, and I'm gonna definitely like blow up the Bears on the next one for sure.
If you wanted to hurt my feelings, you should have shown the final score of the Colts Bengals game. It was like 41-13 or something.
It's preseason, man. Don't please
please
don't buy into the hype. Everybody needs to let teams and people fail in a safe space so that they can learn from it. If we're all watching preseason, and now we're not only just watching preseason, but we're all watching training camp, there's no place for these guys to fail and learn from. So we need that. We need more of that. They should
try like practices,
normalize failure in preseason.
or joint practices. Somewhere where you can get your reps in, try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's the next one. This one's good. Here's the one where I'm gonna blow up the Bears. This is the Isaiah Pacheco. It was a video. I tried to capture it. Pacheco runs the ball
over the trash can.
It runs into the trash can. So then the meme is Bears QB Caleb Williams is questionable for Monday Night Football. He's the trash can.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. All right.
Appreciate that clarification.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I thought that was funny.
You never know. That's true.
This one's cool. I love me some Lamar Jackson. So when I saw this one, I was all about it. Look at these stats, man.
7 seasons.
7 seasons. Like almost half the amount of seasons, with the exception of Cam Newton, who's still nearly 800 yards behind Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
With 4 seasons,
I think the most impressive part about that whole thing is obviously he was, you heard all the things, he's a running back at QB and all that stuff. That man put up some yards last year, like some passing yards.
Passing yards.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some 4,000 yard seasons. I got to look it up, but he's He's been slanging it. He put up almost 4,200 yards last year in the air. That's in addition to his rushing yards, where he put up over 900 rushing yards.
Almost, yeah.
He put up
another 1,000.
Over 5,000 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's on the same team as Derrick Henry.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the most impressive part. Look at Derrick Henry.
Last week, yeah. How many yards that Derrick Henry cannibalizes away from Lamar Jackson, his yardage would have been higher. Like, I do not understand why people don't lean into the running quarterback, and I won't bring him up again, which I already did in chat. Just lean into this, please. Hurts, Jackson, all these guys, lean into this, because this is undeniable here. 7 seasons, 60.
I mean, anyone who hasn't bought into somebody that's had 2 MVP seasons and he's like 26.
There's still so much
you got bigger issues.
There's so much hate out there for Lamar. I don't get it. But yeah.
I think he's like 28 and he's already the all-time rushing leader for a QB in the NFL. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate playing him twice a year.
I think the hate probably stems from the fact that I think he's one of those guys who doesn't have an agent. So anytime there's contract negotiations, it's always
he's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. Just get a fucking agent, please. Like I don't understand.
He's done all right
guys.
for himself, I guess. It hasn't been the smoothest of transitions.
Right. It's just you're coming in sideways, bumping through the landing, but like, which is not to say that I don't think an agent could have also gotten him just as fair of a deal. I understand the allure of thinking you can bet on yourself to go into these negotiations.
I mean, he's going for the for sale by owner approach.
Exactly. It's such a. But like,
we don't need a stinking realtor. And then you get in there and realize like, oh, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Exactly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And oh, by the way, I've also got to go. Figure out how to be on the top of my game for the thing that I'm the expert at. Or the other thing.
It's just one more thing distracting you.
One more thing to distract.
Best football player you can be.
I can't stress it enough. We went through the same thing with Roquan Smith in the Bears.
Oh
big linebacker that left. He didn't have an agent. He thought he could game the system, and it's like I feel like there's a level of respect that precedes negotiations when you have a GM and an agent. They're not going to try to pull the wool over your eyes because you're an agent. You've seen things. You know what to look for. You know exactly where to look for it. You know where to look for the weird language in the contract, this, that, and the other thing. If you represent yourself, I feel like that's an open invitation for them to get stupid with the language to try to take advantage of the fact that, oh, you might not be able to do your homework and read through all these clauses we've put in. And that just, to me, it's like, I don't
opens
want
up
the team
additional levels of,
Yeah. I don't want my GM to do that, but I also don't necessarily think that guys coming in trying to represent themselves to save, a buck or two makes sense either. I'd rather just get a goddamn agent. Anyway,
aside from, I mean, obviously, from the outside looking in, there's obviously a lot of benefits to having an agent negotiating for you. One, their familiarity with contract, what to look for, that experience is obviously incredibly valuable. 2, I mean, they typically have more than one player. They're, more familiar with the salary ranges and how to like work around and negotiate, okay, well, if you're not going to give us this, then we want more, this or, incentives and stuff like that. They just know how to like play the game there. I think the biggest thing is it's far less likely for things to feel personal when you're an owner or GM speaking to a representative of a player as opposed to arguing with that player. Right. I feel like it's far more likely for things to feel personal when they don't necessarily have to be, if there's that buffer in there. Yep. I think that's the big thing is like,
totally.
It could save a relationship because even if you figure out financials, like that relationship could be destroyed, and we've seen that in the past. We've seen it happen.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But yeah, it's really interesting, that whole song and dance and how that goes.
We've digressed. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that was the only one, but it's not.
Yeah.
There's cheap, and then there's Cincinnati Bengals hosting a Ring of Honor ceremony and asking their franchise legends to pay for their own flights and hotels while giving them only one day to RSVP cheap. Care to comment, Cody?
I have been very vocal and clear about my perspective of the practices of the Cincinnati Bengals owners and leadership and their penny pinching ways. I have no comment, and at this point, nothing to argue that.
I know. I don't mean to throw you under the bus. I give you
the only rebuttal I can say is we have in the last 2 years at one point had the highest paid quarterback contract in NFL history. Signed a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson somehow in the last 2 seasons. I don't know how, but we they pulled it off. So I guess credit where credit is due. But
I mean, you guys basically assembled
those 4 guys. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, you basically assembled a Madden team the way an 11-year-old child would.
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's exactly what we did. We spent all of our bonuses on 4 guys, and then we've got DJ Moore's playing left guard because that's who we can afford.
Yep.
But,
so this one's interesting. This may carry us through to the end, or it could be rather easy. It's easy from my perspective, and I'm sure Jason, if I
want to hear you first. Yeah.
Oh,
this will be a good one from the chat too, because I know we've got a bunch of different guys that like a bunch of different teams here. So this would be interesting because I know we've got some Commanders fans in there, which that one could be juicy. We've got some Jets fans in there. I know that one's going to be juicy. Got some Patriots fans.
If we're going last 10 years, which is the big caveat, I mean, for some of you folks, the last 10 years ago, you guys were probably still in diapers, but from my perspective, I remember 10 years ago, but from the last 10 years, it's hands down the Mitchie Trubisky's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, and we've covered it probably too much to even go into it, but it's just, like the gall to think that somebody else, anyone else on the 32 team roster of GMs thought that Mitch Trubisky was the pick of the top 3 QBs that you needed to feel like you needed to trade up to leapfrog those people from doing the same thing is just the absolute definition of ignorance to me. Like it boggles my mind.
Hindsight's 2020 for sure, but that was a tough one.
But it's not even hindsight. It's just all the signs were there. And if you thought you had such a, like the idea was they had such a great interview with Mitch Trubisky. They were so sold on him. He had high character traits on paper they thought were good. Roll the goddamn dice, in my opinion. Don't trade up. If somebody is going to leapfrog you to take Mitch Trubisky, take the consolation prize. Do not jump up one goddamn spot at the expense of whatever. I don't even care if it was like 7th round pick. I'm pretty sure. I don't even want to look it up because it's going to make me sick to my stomach. Whatever we traded to jump one spot to try to land Mitch Trubisky is the stupidest goddamn move ever. And nothing's going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to stomach for sure, especially knowing who else was on the board still and like kind of what they developed into. That one shocked the world when that one went down.
I'm trying not to play the whole like you said, hindsight's 2020.
Well, right.
We could have ended up with Mahomes. Like,
of course, yeah.
What was there out of any of those other quarterbacks at that time that made you believe that you needed you needed Mitch Trubisky or nothing. Because that's essentially what you're saying is if you trade up one spot is you're saying it needs to be Mitch Trubisky or nothing. Because there was plenty of other, I have to feel like paper quarterbacks that if you miss on him because, oh, guess what? Somebody did their homework just as well as you did in your crazy brain and decided they were going to take him, snatch him out from underneath you. I just can't envision a scenario, even before knowing what Mahomes became, where you think that if you miss on Mitch and you draft Mahomes, that you're in such a bad spot organizationally that like you're screwed. Like I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, at least the one that hurts the most in recent years for the Bengals is in the same draft. Also, before Patrick Mahomes, Marshawn Lattimore, Deshaun Watson, Hassan Reddick, Maron Murphy, before all these guys, Evan Ingram, like all these guys, Jabril Peppers, we took John Ross at the 109 because he broke the NFL Combine record at the time for the fastest 40 in NFL history. I think he had 6 career receptions for the Bengals. Like,
wow.
Could not stay on the field,
but like
could not catch the ball when it hit him in the hands. It was just to spend a top 10 pick on something that just netted zero value is really difficult to stomach.
I hear that. The 40 time though is like the freaking thing that woos people. Yeah. I see a 40 time and I think, oh, you know, like if you can get past this guy, I can teach you how to run routes. I can teach you how to do this, that. Like I can cover your deficiencies if you could just burn past everybody on the field. So
I mean, Tyreek Hill's made a career of it, and he's 5'3.5". So
exactly.
Yeah. At some point, it becomes like, well, no one's going to catch me anyways. It doesn't matter if I'm, tall enough to ride a roller coaster or not. So
yeah.
But
Jason says we would have ruined Mahomes. Yes, I agree. We would have ruined Mahomes, but it doesn't matter. You take him nonetheless.
Yeah.
Even if
you got to try.
Like I can objectively say this: if Mahomes and Mitch Trubisky eventually landed in the same spot, meaning backup quarterbacks, it would have been easier for me to stomach losing on Patrick Mahomes. Like ruining Patrick Mahomes. We'll just say ruining. Like it would have been difficult to say that we ruined him, but like play out that alt history. We draft Patrick Mahomes. He ends up being a nothing burger for us, and he ends up being a backup quarterback. Still, we saved ourselves whatever we had to mortgage to get Mitch Trubisky to play out that exercise. That's still better to me than trading up for Mitch Trubisky and landing in the exact same spot. That's the part that burns me, is that even if we didn't have the wherewithal to realize what Patrick Mahomes was, and if we had the coaching staff that would have ruined him, even taking him and having him bust out is better than trading up and busting out with Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is even, when the Chiefs took Mahomes, he still sat behind Alex Smith for a year, but he got that chance to develop. And then when he got his chance, he exploded. Right. Yeah. I think that's something that is difficult. It's something that doesn't happen often enough. And you look back at the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I mean, there are some exceptions that were immediately thrown into the fire, like, Peyton Manning, and he set the all-time NFL record for most interceptions by a rookie or something like that, and it's like not even close to being touched. But yeah. I mean, think of the Tom Brady's. They sat. Yeah. Think of the Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I know obviously Bears, but like he sat. Like
no.
Mahomes obviously, but it's you have to feel for these young guys who get, obviously, the higher you're drafted you are, the worse your team is.
Expectations. right, yes.
Right. So you're getting thrown into a
Expectations
dumpster
are high.
fire.
Your team
Immediately getting thrown
Caleb
into
is
the
the
fire. Right.
exception. Yeah.
So yeah, again, Caleb fell into a gold mine, and still somehow figured out a way
He
to
still may
finish
fuck
worse
it
than
up.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So
Right.
or not Daniel Jones,
Jaden.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
But no, I had to throw at least one dig in there. But
no, you can't. I am. Yeah. Look,
I mean,
Jason's not here.
The Browns
so I
have
can say
made
this.
a franchise curse of doing that exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then once they get out, like, Baker Mayfield, they ball out.
I am trying my best to buy into the Caleb Williams hype. But as I said earlier, how should I phrase this? I'm not sold, and I was one of the probably the first people to think about what could we get for a second 1OA pick in a trade.
I genuinely thought, I was like, they have Justin Fields, who has shown he can at least move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but that's what I was saying. It's like, man, what the package you guys got?
The package, yes. If
you could get something even remotely close to that again,
I thought it probably could have been better.
Yeah, of course. The 101 with a better quarterback class, Bryce Young would have been the fourth quarterback at best that season.
Mm-hmm.
But
I kind of did the average in my head. I was like, and Jason was the one that kind of talked me out of it. He's like, what, like you would be crucified as a GM if you traded 2 1OAs, if back to back. I do tend to agree that pressure would have probably gotten to him, but like
it would have been different if it was your own 101, but it was not your 101. Now, if you were the worst team in the NFL in back-to-back years and then traded them away, like, okay, a little different situation.
Yeah.
But if you were trading if you traded your previous pick, and this is one that you got from another pick on top of DJ Moore and all the other guys you turned that into.
To me, it was the guy who, it was that story of that dude from eBay who like started with like a pencil and like sold stuff on eBay and eventually bought a house. Like he bought like a pencil for like 35 cents and he just kept selling it for, things, or trading it for things. It wasn't eBay, or it was like Craigslist or something. But
like Dwight Schrute, where he started with a thumbtack and then left with a telescope and then traded it for a magic legume.
Yeah, I think that story was based off of a real live event where some guy was like traded things, and he went from like a pencil to a car just by trading things. To me that's the exercise that I was going through when I found out we were going to get 1OA from Carolina. I was like, what could we get for this one now?
Yeah, right.
Seriously. Because again, it's like, is Justin Fields the answer? No, but like, is he a serviceable quarterback? Maybe. And like, what could we get for, what would the package be? It would have to, if it was anything better than what the package was for the first overall the year before, I would have been like, I would take it. And and so as a guy who advocated for that, I'm really having to lean in hard on the Caleb Williams hype. I do think objectively, I think there's something there. I don't think the national narrative has been fair to him, but I'm not sold yet. And I won't be sold probably until
we get 2 solid years out of him. Cause that's the Andy
litmus test.
Yeah.
Right. And we were arguing this earlier because the NFC is kind of wide open. I feel like the NFC North is kind of wide open this year. And so like there's like, we were doing the thought exercises of like, oh, the Packers could drop, so could the Lions because they've lost 2 coordinators. Like the Vikings are going to roll out JJ Redick over there, which I do think JJ Redick is probably going to ball out just because that everybody who's not named Caleb Williams from that class has balled out so far. There's just so many
class.
There's like so many things that could play out that I'm not ready to anoint the Bears as, the dark horse NFC North team just yet. And like that just like I just don't know what's going to be at the end of the year. Probably end of the second year would I'm trying to temper this by being okay, 1 year, install this crazy system with Ben Johnson, give him half a year to kind of settle in. I don't want to age this team too quickly. They need to figure this stuff out, and everybody wants instant results. Yeah. But don't, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to go too homer.
No, we've got some good comments in the chat here about what are some of the biggest mistakes or something you wish you could redo. Esso, the Jets fan, he said, well, let's go. Le'Veon Bell, you got Johnson, Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore. Man, Elijah Moore is a tough one. He was so fun to watch that first year. And it was crazy because he and Amon-Ra St. Brown really kind of blew up at the same time at the end of that first year. And Amon-Ra St. Brown just kept going up, and then Elijah Moore just never really kind of pulled it together again, which stinks because he was really fun to watch there at the end. Le'Veon Bell is I think between the Le'Veon Bell situation and the Antonio Brown situation, I think anyone and everyone is second guessing trading for anyone from Pittsburgh, because at least Tomlin, credit where credit is due, that man is the crazy whisperer, because no one really knew how insane some of those guys were until they got out from under his thumb and they explode. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what was who was that guy?
Wide receiver. Claypool.
Wide receiver. Yeah, Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool, that's right. Same exact thing. So I mean, I don't know if Tomlinson is the one that's causing the crazy, or if he's just really good at keeping it in check. But man, when they get out from under that thumb, they let loose, and it almost always ends like a car crash. So, but I feel for you, So I didn't know if you're going to go, Sanchez or the butt fumble. But I've
never heard that. Sanchez, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's the Sanchez quarterback over there.
He is the Sanchez quarterback.
But first round picks, Darren Lee. The fact that I don't even know who that is probably pretty telling. And Mekhi Becton. That one was a bummer for sure. But
drafts are tough. You take a risk sometimes with drafts. If it's going to translate. I mean, I think. We talked about Genti earlier. I thought he was a big risk just based off the talent he was playing in college.
The competition.
The competition he was playing in college, and so far, knock on wood, he's kind of proved it. I'm very curious to see how he progresses. Not just because he was on the Bears' radar, but just I did some research on him as a Bears fan because I don't covered it. I don't watch enough college. So I watched, some of his tape and stuff, and just it just really kind of, I wasn't sure if it was going to translate, but so far it has. There's nothing. Yeah.
There's no holes in his game.
Yeah.
He's elusive. He's explosive. He's got great hands. I mean, he just does it all. He does it all really well. I mean, he's, as far as pre-draft testing goes, I mean, I think the only running backs that have tested higher at coming into the rookie year, I think, is Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott, and I think he's number 3. Those are the only pretty good company.
You're right.
To have above you.
I did see that. Yeah,
pretty good company to have above you.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
but we've got. I think there's some dark horses in this rookie draft that I think are going to surprise some people. Even I think are faster than they're expecting. So Emeka Egbuka is already dominating in Tampa Bay, and not to mention Chris Godwin's going to be out the first month and a half of the season, so he's going to get a chance to shine there with Mike Evans. And I mean, next year, worst case scenario, RB2, I think, or wide receiver 2. I think 2 years from now, he's going to be a freaking force to reckon with. So he's another good one. I think has a lot of high upside. I think Peavy in Denver is another one. He's an older running back, so he's gonna have a shortened career for sure, because I think he's like 24, 25 or something like that, which is already old for a running back. But if you're gonna run into a situation as an old running back, what better than that offense in Denver with that coach who is historically supported not one but two fantasy relevant wide or running backs. The hell, there's one here, Mark Ingram and
Samaje.
No, it was Ingram and Kamara were both top 10 running backs. Kamara had the receiving downs, and Ingram did the ground and pound. I think they were both top 10 running backs that year. So I think he's gonna be a firework. He's gonna shine bright for a short amount of time, but I think he's someone that could have immediate impact on their team this year. It's gonna be a really interesting draft class. Next year is gonna suck, and then 2027 is gonna be electric. Like that draft class is gonna be insane. I think they're already joking that the Colts are gonna start tanking for Archie, Arch right away. Yeah, Arch Manning.
That's the only reason why I think they've picked Daniel Jones over.
They're just buying
Richardson.
Time.
They're just buying, exactly.
They're just buying time. Yeah, next year's class is gonna suck, but that 2027 class is gonna be nasty.
Right on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything else on the agenda we want to chat about? If not, we're at 90. Oh yeah, 91 minutes. Another hour and a half podcast. It just sneaks up on you, man. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody in the chat hopping on the Wednesday. I know this is not our usual day, so thanks everybody for the engagement and for hanging out with us, for being flexible. Next week we will, I think, all be here, right?
We'll see. Yeah,
we got to figure out what's going on with Jason. I mean,
we need to do a wellness check. Yeah,
we need to send a cop over, do a wellness check, make sure he's not taking anything else to the face. You know, he may show up looking like Mike Tyson or something like that, but I think he'll be here next week, and
hopefully he'll be here next week. And hopefully we have we got some things brewing, which is exciting. We've had some cards we've been holding in our hand for just the right time, and it feels like we're approaching that time. So we will share exciting news as it comes in and as it's confirmed. But we're getting there, guys.
Consider this a teaser,
right? Consider this a teaser. So,
but I think you guys would be pretty happy to see what we got in store for you all, and we appreciate you guys every week for hopping on and hanging out with us. I mean, I just it blows my mind. We get people in here that just want to listen to Cody and I, whatever.
Ramble on.
We love you guys. Thank you so much. Please, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. As long as we keep subscribers going.
Like the videos, comments in the chat.
Videos, do all that stuff. You do have to stay 30 minutes after for being late. No, Sean, you do not have to stay 30 minutes.
You do have to go back and watch the first 30 minutes, though.
There you go. Yes.
We'll allow that. But all right, folks. Until next time, we'll see you next week. Same time, just Thursday. And,
just on Thursday. Yeah.
Yep. And hopefully we'll have Jason back. Obviously, we wish him, well and
speedy
and
recovery.
That healing comes speedy recovery. But
we don't want him to be sucking gruel through a straw anymore.
Right.
Him and Tua are just challenging each other for mental stability right now. But
get that Kanye West talking through the wire action. So.
Right.
But,
all right, guys,
folks.
We will catch you next week. Until then, we are the Beer League Society podcast signing off. We will see y'all later. Take care.
Cheers.